faithfulness to hear us and to give us abundantly more than we could ask. A few months ago, I had the honor of writing a devotional on Psalm 43. In it, I explored how sometimes the answer to our prayers are God's presence himself, rather than what he can do in our circumstances. I want to testify how he has not only met our physical needs, but how he has also given the gift of himself to me during this time. So I made a list of all the things that we prayed specifically for during the pregnancy and delivery. And I came up with about 17 specific requests. And God has answered 16 of them completely. And one he answered, but just in a different way than we prayed. Of course, we prayed for a healthy baby and a safe delivery. But I also prayed for many small details and desires of my heart. And to share a couple of ways that God showed me unmerited favor, I prayed for months every day that Tilly would be born at a time of day where Dale would be able to come home and put Isla to bed at night. She was born at 2:22 p.m., and not only did he get to put her to bed, but my doula also was able to go home and put her kids to bed. So that was a prayer answered, really 2 in 1. From about 6 weeks pregnant on, I had another prayer, and that was that God would provide a milk donor. I had experienced some anxiety over this due to the formula shortage and really some difficulty finding donors and our past feeding experience with Isla. And eventually, as time went by and nothing worked out, I thought maybe the prayer was going to be answered just by the peace that I had started to feel about how Tilly would be fed. I even stopped actively pursuing donors. Then, at 9 months, I had not one, but 2 gifts presented to me, and one being a long-term donor that I had so hoped to find. And then a week after her birth, a third. He didn't give me the ability to nurse, but he gave me milk for my child. And God is taking care of us, even when it's painful. And those are just 2 of many, many prayers that he has graciously answered. Finally, God has given himself to Dale and I for the sake of love. A weakness in my spiritual discipline is recognizing just the pure beauty and love of God in favor of pragmatism. And sometimes I just miss the affection of God. Well, thankfully, he made himself known to me in a way even I couldn't miss, and will treasure him forever. For both of my children, I made a playlist to listen to in the hospital. And Dale and I'm skipping ahead here. After Isla was born, in those first sacred moments, Holy, Holy, Holy was playing. And Dale and I have cherished that moment ever since. So I used the same playlist for Tilly. And I checked, and it's 5 hours of music. But in the moments after she was born, Dale and I were stunned to hear Holy, Holy, Holy playing exactly that moment. And we just looked at each other in awe because we couldn't believe it. And we just cried because it wasn't a crazy coincidence. It was God affirming his presence with us in that moment. And it was just an act of love. It was an act of love and comfort and care for me from a good and loving Father. Thank you for praying for us and with us to a great God who hears and who's generous in grace, abundant in provision, and constant in faithfulness. Thank you.
So what are we hanging on to? What is it that we have anxiety about? What is it that we are worried and fretting about? In our moment of prayerful silence, just give that to the Lord. Give it to him. Let's bow.